Okay, I've decided before I go anywhere. Whoa, 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 whoa. One day I'll get smart and I'll invest in a mic. Perhaps a mic stand. Perhaps one of those mini mics that all these clever little short TikTokers are using. It's all the rage, and I'm never on the up and up. So there's a case that I've been hyping up, I think, maybe for over a week, and it's just time. It's just time that I get this out of my topics list. It's in the chamber. And speaking of that, my last video where it's just a plea, I didn't use any foul language. I didn't say anything controversial, but well, Grandmaster YouTube did decide. Speaking of that, let me remind myself to do something here. But yeah, they decided to, for whatever reason that I can't identify. Is it because I said the word range? I'm going to go to the range, whatever the case may be. They saw fit to not monetize the last video where I'm just talking about the the mental struggles, issues, experience currently going through that I tried to relay. But well, whatever the case, YouTube, you work in mysterious ways, and I'll never figure you out. Maybe it's just not meant to be. You will forever be the Santa Claus that I'll just never understand. I just won't. So, with that being said, though, I'm gonna get right to it. All right, for the sake of people retaining their attention, this case has disturbed me, and as a result, it may just end up disturbing people that happened to watch it. Now, this is a kind of a three-part story. I'm going to do my best to abide by the terms of fair use. Right now, I cannot see the chat, so if you appear, although I've recognized just rewatching prior videos, I lose my train of thought very often. Perhaps it's the old age. Remember, my birthday was like 2 days ago. I'm like 60 now. If I just round down, I'm hitting 60, pushing on. Real close here. Salt and pepper hair. Okay, this is all fake, by the way. All hair dye. I'm really a silver fox. This is the case of one of the most disturbing cases of Karen gone crazy I've come across. And it is not the first video. Well, the second one is probably going to guarantee the yellow slip by the YouTube overlords. And I am strongly considering checking out Kick, although some of the content I've seen on there is full of just people that disturb the peace. But I'm sure I'm only seeing the surface value because just for whatever reason, when you go on the internet, it's so easy to find the worst of humanity. But with that being said, speaking of the worst of humanity, there's a segue. Let's meet this little Karen woman who ends up, and it's a feud. It started as a feud, a very silly one, and I hope it's able to articulate itself without my explaining, although I will have to interrupt here and there. So, without further ado, let's dig into the Karen files.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Aggravated. A Florida woman accused of shooting her neighbor over a trespassing dispute pleads not guilty in court. All this as newly released body camera video gives us an inside look at a year-long feud leading up to the shooting.
I don't know what his problem is. This guy in the next building, and there's no trespassing
Can't
signs.
hear much, but I'm checking the chat right now, so bear with me.
The body camera video also shows officials speak with the victim months before she's gunned down.
It's funny because I'm the one that never comes outside.
Okay, so right there, I'm just going to offer the context. This innocent woman of 4, mother of 4, is her crime is having 4 children that enjoy playing in a large field. Remember when you were just a child and any open field was an invitation to maybe play some sports, and Lord knows kids need to get outside these days. So this lovely citizen and mother of 4, I can see no fault, no wrong for what ends up happening. So let's let her explain a bit as I try to break it down.
58-year-old Susan Lorenz is now charged with manslaughter in the June 2nd shooting death of Ajika A.J. Owens in Ocala, Florida. Officials say Lorenz shot at Owens through a locked metal door over a disagreement involving Owens' children who'd been playing in an open field near Lorenz's apartment. Leading up to Owens' death, Lorenz made more than a dozen calls to the Marion County Sheriff's Department about the so-called disturbances, claiming the children bullied her and referred to her as Karen.
Okay, so red flag immediately. First off, we're dealing with a grown adult woman that is so triggered by children playing in a large yard that is just happens to be adjacent. The woman doesn't own the yard. She doesn't own the yard. Oh my God, some kids, rightfully so, called her Karen. And she calls the police like it's a racial slur. Like somebody, ruined my day. And she has some colorful words to share back with the children. But no, for whatever reason, these disputes carry on far too long until the worst possible outcome does finally happen. And it's avoidable.
I don't want to be intimidated by them screaming and yelling at me, telling me I'm a bitch, calling me Karen. They're calling me names. Really, we're gonna
Call the Federal Reserve. That didn't work. No. Call the military. Call the FBI, the CIA. They called me a bitch. They called me a Karen. I feared for my life, officers.
Devolve to this simple bullying. I don't want to face this.
During this incident, Lorenz explains neighborhood children play near her rental apartment. She accuses them of screaming and yelling and disregarding a no trespass sign.
Kids keep running back and forth over here. When the kids are out front, I don't, it's really noisy.
I don't know why it's so blurred and crappy.
The way my apartment's set up, you can see events here. They're screaming, yelling. I don't get a break from the kids at all. They don't have children. I've asked them, please, the kids all live on that side of the street. For some reason, they love to play over here. I'm like, guys.
Probably because it's open.
I understand that. I have migraine.
Here comes the plethora of excuses as to why it's so horrifying to have the noises of playing children outside of our home.
Horrible migraines. I had a very bad car wreck. I had my neck fused. I need more back surgery. I don't want to hear these children.
All right, children playing triggers her back pain.
There's other places they can play. They don't have to play here. They're screaming, yelling at me, telling the kids are not hurting anybody. The kids, they're not damaging anything. Well, they're damaging me because the migraines are so bad.
Be thankful, Karen, that they weren't live streaming you being a complete bitch. Or doing drugs, or, God forbid, being a streamer on YouTube.
I'm in pain. I don't want to hear the children. I'm not trying to be a bitch, but, it's not fun.
Okay. Well, have you talked to your landlord?
Yes. There's no trespassing sign.
Okay.
And they're saying that this.
Just checking if the audio is. Hey, Cotton, holy crap, Cotton Candy Boobs! I haven't seen you in like a millennium.
And now a word from our sponsor.
I hope that
introducing the next
everything can be heard because I'm uncertain. I had problems with StreamYard the last time.
Self-defense product
Oh
with
goodness!
a patented modular design.
Yeah, do me a favor. Yeah, do the whole thing where you let me know if the number 1 or the number 2, hit 1 if we can hear this audio or if I'm talking to myself. But big shout out to Cotton Candy Boobs. Good people. I miss good people on YouTube. Now, word from our sponsor.
Self-defense industry. Whether you're carrying the unit on your keys,
against Karen specifically.
snapping the unit on
All
your
right,
back.
fast forward.
Lorenz alleges her landlord has instructed the children to remain off the property, but that the no trespassing sign was stolen.
Here's something strange. I can't see when read between. I don't know who you are. I don't know why you're blocked. Is there a ducks in that name, perchance? Because I've been seeing everybody say hello to read between the lines. I don't see you in the comments. So you're definitely somebody I've blocked at some point or another. But say Cotton Candy, since I can only see you right now. Can you hear that audio, as crappy as it may be? I know I'm, live streaming and talking directly to you, but, hit Y for, yeah, I can hear everything you're playing as best as humanly possible. Or N for you fail. As always, just take it down. Just quit. Appreciate the feedback. Otherwise, I'm going to keep on doing the thing. Possibly talking to myself. I know I can quick fix that. Yes, thank you. Oh, you came in the clutch for me, Cotton Candy Boobs. You know what? I really love saying your name. Does that make me creepy? Possibly. Will I get canceled? Most likely, inevitably, sure. But hell, I love me some Cotton Candy Boobs. The channel, you perverts.
kids' things. It wasn't trespassing sign. It was supposed to be.
Okay,
That's why.
this audio is not even meant to be heard. She's like, there's a no trespassing sign, yada
Trespassing
yada.
But sheriff's deputies hear conflicting information when speaking to neighbors.
You don't even come outside and play football with the kids or play.
So I figure, well, if the cops are there, it's probably she keeps calling every time. I mean, it's just over stupidity. Literally, kids just going around. She keep posting signs over here. I mean, we all live here. Kids play over there. It's an open field, whatever. She keeps messing around with the kids, and the kids sometimes they go like, they start cursing at her, and I'm like, you know what? No, don't do that. You gotta respect her. She's an adult. You know what I mean? I mean, but she's not all there. And
During one of these calls, Lorenz asks sheriff's deputies to trespass children she alleges are near her rental property, but officials explain that won't quite work.
You don't have sole control over the parking lot. There's 4 people here.
I don't know why this deterrent didn't just stop it dead to rights, but this woman felt like the vigilante of all Karens and felt the need to take it to the absolute last level ever necessary, which is why, plot twist, I am completely shocked as to why what ends up happening is only a manslaughter charge. And how this insane female is able to bond out. Because after the second video, you're going to be emotionally pissed off, just as I have been ever since I learned of the footage. Ever since I laid my eyes on it, and I may have a whole bunch of other topics that are more worldly and more, just important, but we got to keep our eye on the little details too, and this just bothered me so much. The next part of this is what is undoubtedly going to get the whole demonetized on this video. Undoubtedly. But whatever the case, let the story be told. I want to just hear her, get it explained to her, and then I'm going to skip on.
Yeah, but those children don't live here. I mean, they literally live across the street on the other side. They don't.
I understand what you're telling me, and I get it, but you don't have sole power to say, hey, they can't be in this parking lot.
But he's asked them to leave. I mean, you can call Charles. I mean,
I'm just telling you it's trespassing. It's the first time's civil. It's not. It doesn't become criminal until they're warned.
okay, but he's already told them no trespassing.
It's not sinking in
He's just
whatsoever.
trespassing right now.
During this conversation, a neighbor approaches officials while they're speaking with Lorenz. She then accuses him of trespassing.
He's just trespassing right now. He's trespassing right now. He's trespassing.
He came over to come ask us a question.
So we're going to hop along a little bit. I think she's asking everybody to get off the property, including the officers.
It's a dog. We can't stop the dog.
And yelling about the... Okay. Screw this woman and building a defense for her. Not to appear too biased. Welcome to my Facebook for a moment as I get into the unfortunate film, the disturbing part, if you will. Here we go. Cotton Candy. I bet if you got... crazier things have been done, my friend Cotton Candy Boobs. Best name on YouTube, by God. All right, this is where it's going to get
Wells
finicky,
Fargo has enabled small businesses
disturbing,
to create
gut-wrenching,
more than
tragic.
222,000 jobs.
Don't mind me while I sponsor Wells Fargo
donated
because
to
they
support
need
diverse
me
small
more
business
than I'd
owners.
ever need
Wells
them.
Fargo,
Clearly.
the way of doing.
If you have an hour this week, you can learn
definitely
100
more
songs on
ads.
the piano.
That's cool.
I learned.
Shut up. Skip. All right. It gets right into it.
Oh, it's going to take a few steps back.
Hold on. Okay. StreamYard needs me too.
She said there's an old white lady.
Do you have your trauma bag? There is still someone with a gun.
Be thankful that this is blurred out, and trigger warning, you're going to hear things that are going to disturb you, undoubtedly.
She's inside.
Okay.
Yes,
Where?
Bro, where? Ex-military. She's in the house, bro. That apartment. Right here. This first apartment. I need like a 49.
Baby, wake up. Baby, wake up.
That one right there.
Wake up. Wake up. Wake up, baby. Wake up. Baby, wake up. Come on. Hey, baby, wake up.
We need to do CPR real quick.
Baby, wake up.
So I'm going to share that some of the voices you're going to hear, screaming, crying, pleading, are the the children of the mother that I showed at the beginning of the first video, because Crazy Karen took it upon herself to fire through a locked door and completely takes her life. And the kids have to be there while she slowly leaves this planet behind. It's gut-wrenching. All the more reason why I don't understand the bond and the charge.
Hey, wake up!
Let me see. Do we have any polls? Do we have any polls? We got a poll! We got polls! All right. Sheriff's office, come outside with your hands up! This is the Marion County Sheriff's Office, come outside with your hands up!
After the deed is done,
show me your hands! Show me your hands! Turn around! Turn around! Where's your gun at? You got hands? You got hands? You're being detained. Is there anybody else in the house?
Somebody else in the house. Can I just get my
No,
daughter?
no, not right now.
All right.
You're not under arrest. You're being detained.
Okay, I understand.
Come over here.
Wait, can you close the door? I have two cats inside.
Hold
I
on.
don't want the cats still running out.
that oh my god is the discovery from one of the children seeing and understanding and putting two and two together. Oh, you're gonna, if you end up getting to the end, I'm gonna spoil a little bit. These kids, because this Karen is let off on a manslaughter charge and a bond, the court order lets her stay in that very house next to the neighbor's home where she took the mother's life. So those kids, even though there's a no contact order, can absolutely accidentally see the person that ended their mother's life at any moment. Can you imagine? And so what kind of a justice system just can't think that far ahead and orchestrate something just a little more, I don't know, forward thinking, protective of the actual children, victims of a woman that was clearly troubled?
Start giving first aid. Inside, London. Come here. Come here.
The police bag? Green shoulder bag.
Oh my God.
She said she has
No
a pulse.
exit, no exit. Yes.
She's got pulse.
Very
She said
faint.
she's got
Very
pulse.
faint. Very faint. There's no exit.
Bro, this is you've been planning to do this for the longest time, bro. On this fucking woman for fucking ever.
Oh my God.
I got it. Where's she shot at?
Right here.
Right here.
Right here.
Chest. Right here. Right side of chest. Okay. There's no exit.
Who over there was
I think it doesn't take much figuring out as to what's going on behind the blur. And I think enough has been showed from video number 2 and the damn ads that get showcased here. I just want to get to the point where family's trying to explain.
right and one's wrong?
Okay, so if I said that my uniform is the color blue, is that true or is that a lie?
It's a lie.
If I said that the sky is
Okay, that never got that far. There appears to be some kind of investigation or interrogation of the children, which I fail to understand. Don't think I will be able to. Now I want to get to, because this I could not watch to the end. Susan Lawrence granted bond. Here's our judge. Oh yeah, the audio is actually extra piss poor here.
Before we get started, I just want to remind everybody of a few rules that we have.
Few rules. Okay, scroll the rules. I want to just hear, or maybe I can read them. Marion County judge granted bond Friday morning. This was June 9th, by the way, so we're sitting on a few months here. I'd love to do a little deep dive myself and find out if some justice was actually served. So the woman accused of ending Ajik AJ Owens, the mother that she did take away from 4
So in that case,
innocent children following a dispute regarding Owens' children. If she posts the $154,000 bond, she can return to her Ocala home where she allegedly shot Owens through a closed front door like a coward unless she is evicted, but cannot have any contact with the Owens family or possess any firearms or weapons. She will be required to wear an ankle monitor prior to leaving jail and cannot leave the state of Florida. She must also surrender her passport. I'm going to check. Yeah, there's what was left over 3 months ago. The whole justice system is pathetic as hell. This makes me wonder, like, cannot the justice system, I'm doing a search right now, recognize when like one case going so south, so wrong, can have such an overlapping effect on a society that's completely disenfranchised, that's appalled, without hope in our system. Okay, so here's the most freshest that I could find, and I just want to know. Okay, here's July 17th. Is that the last report that I can even find?
Do you promise to come to all of your future court dates?
With Susan Lawrence said, I don't care what she said. I just want to know if she's behind bars. She bonded out, I think, is what I learned. So forgive me as I update in real time. It's what I do here. Yes, okay. Lawrence stated she called 911. Follow-up interview. It goes on to say Owens had come after her. I'm looking for what I want to see, which is just that this woman is rotting in a cell. And I can't. She is charged with manslaughter. She is being, well, if that's all I can get, I don't know. This is going to be left in limbo. But I just can't help when I see any form of our system fail us on every possible, in every possible way, from the governing institutions to the justice system. I'm inclined to show, and this is just another example. Hey, Patty, I don't want to. So hello. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you for coming out to speak, and I just showcased you, blew you out. Hope you're okay with that, though. We accept you. And all the lurkers and bushwhackers in the background, hate watchers and content reactions, streamers. That's a big hello, and thank you for just popping along. Usually I'm on a little later, by the way. This is just keep myself distracted from other things. If you bother with the video prior to this one, you'll understand, but I can't talk about it any further. I wanted to go, I don't know if I played this one already, but this right here, oh, I think I did. Oh, and big update. So at least I'll do this to explain that I got to meet a member of the team of this podcast that has close to 5 million subscribers.
So if you have to choose
this guy, all right, I know him as PBD. His name is Patrick. I don't even know his full name, but I've been watching his value entertainment stuff for quite some time, and he's just got a way with words. He's got strong convictions in his beliefs, and he has everybody that's willing to speak on his platform to speak, which is the exact reason why we've all done our mass exodus away from the mainstream media. Very interesting thought experiment. Maybe I can show you here right now, by the way. Here, look at this random post. Political atheist, right? So it's supposed to be a hit piece on Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan, I credit him with leading the way, kind of, to all of us calling bullshit on the media during the COVID wave of misinformation and punishing those that would question it. I will continue to wear that old hat because it was a gross example of our government kind of playing us like guinea pigs. I didn't cover this in the title, but, I roll with the punches. I made a little comment that got a little traction here, and I thought it was just honest. The statistics are hilarious to me. So all I said, didn't know it was going to get such a divisive reaction. I said, he's not funded. Oh, what is the joke? That's why the mainstream media doesn't want you to know about it, bro. There's Julia Dreyfus. You're the mainstream media. Because he has 115 million monthly listeners. So this stupid meme is trying to make the argument because he has a larger audience than the mainstream media like CNN, Fox News, MSNBC. They can barely hover around the 7 million mark these days, if that. It doesn't just work like that, though. Okay, so as I tried to point out, he's not funded by the DNC or the GOP. He's not in bed with corrupt special interests. He admits when he's wrong. Haters gonna hate. His platform has given rise and justification to our own mistrust of the real mainstream. So look at this. All right, literally split in half. 30 likes, 1 heart, 33 laugh reacts. That to me is the perfect definition of a divided country. We can't even come to an agreement when a man makes a point. Because what? Like, what is even his transgression? He has, in my strong opinion, been very fair about everybody he talks about, every subject. Calls out what's wrong, calls out what's right, or in his mind's eye, and he'll man up when he's wrong. Never forget, they tried to, we're going to call it Russell Brand him, when he came out outspoken during the great COVID wave about, the horse dewormer or whatever. However, the media tried to cancel him entirely, and they even went as far as making sure he looked even sicker when he would on the show or the clip and the footage that they had played, and he called it out. He even had Sanjay Gupta on and accused him of being a part of an establishment that lies, and Sanjay didn't even have the conviction to. He didn't do anything. He just kind of was like, yeah, that, that was wrong. He was more concerned about his job and his status. But, yeah, quite a division. What are some of the very intelligent comments I got? Oh, he admits when he's wrong, got a real buzzer there. There are a lot of people that benefit greatly from polar obedience, and they despise the Socratic. Oh, okay, I don't know if that's a shout-out there. Nuance is a danger to these folks. So here's the big explanation as to why Joe Rogan is so big and is now definitely officially mainstream media. He sells the finest supplements and invested well in cattle dewormer. Yeah, right. Okay, so all of these TV news stations that literally have, George Soros or actual DNC or political officials with real corrupt special interests and big pharma getting pushed down our throats with 20 jabs a day. Yeah, okay. That's not the mainstream media with an agenda. But Joe Rogan, that has a guest on of every flavor, come on and have an honest conversation. He's got to be evil because he's not the status quo. What a world, what a world. So back to this guy, super quick. I did get to meet a member of his staff that came to my store. I got to verify that when he showed me private video calls with this dude and promised, I guess this guy has a building somewhere in the state of Florida. He promised me, and I didn't even ask for this, and I got his number and everything. We've exchanged text messages. He said to give me a tour of the building. I'm like, oh, dude, whatever you need, whatever it takes. I'm just honored. I don't care what I got to do. Just get me involved. So this, is so off topic from my titling. I'm just going to change the title and the hashtags. This is just
orchestrated. The two things to put in school, and you have to have one of them. Which one will it be? You ready for this tech?
His method of interviewing, sometimes it may not look gracious, but you have to put somebody who is being too flippant in a corner. You have to really get them in a space where they have to give you a straight answer, and they can't, Josh, forgive me, you can't stay stuck in the middle on the fence on every subject. We can accept the nuance, but sometimes you just gotta say yay or frickin' nay. So this one about children being taught about sex, right or wrong, he has to paint it in this kind of a framework to get this man who is defending the indefensible, literally defending pornography in schools, by just putting it this way. I'll let the man himself take it away. PBD.
A quick question.
Yeah.
Would you rather have your kids have to learn about God and pray every morning and do pledge allegiance to the flag, but they don't get LGBTQ learning, all the different sexes and all that stuff? Or would you take God out of school and add they have to learn about what it is to be gay, lesbian, bisexual, queer, trans, and they have to know at an early age because it's part of us being free and not being discriminatory? Which of those two would you want your kids to learn about, and you have to give up the other one?
I feel like there has to be a balance because you don't want to be.
No. That's the whole. I'm gonna tiptoe around the question and try to appease both sides. So let me be clear about my stance. Okay, so subscribe, unsubscribe, whatever you choose. Ultimately, I'm not going away, even if there's just one person that'll listen. I would personally rather that we have neither. However, if I had to choose over one or the other, I'd say the Pledge of Allegiance and God. Keep that in the schools over teaching children about 60 different genders and sex acts. Okay, because it just has no place. I can make the argument why religion shouldn't have a place in the schools, but that's a very traditional-esque aspect of Americana culture. So I understand the arguments for it. And I do believe if you live in the country and you can enjoy the freedoms here, pledge to the damn flag. I remember when I was so invested on being on the left that I was so convinced that it was some sort of tyranny. The lefties, the super progressives, really got to eat some humble pie on that and look at real tyranny. But let's see this man try and tiptoe, and PBD is going to give him a great stonewall and say, no. Yes or no? Which one, guy?
Oppressive, or let's say your kid is gay. You don't want them to feel like they can't be accepted and they can't be themselves. But at the same time, there's got to be some sort of.
You got to pick one of them. You got to pick one of them. Come on, Grant.
I don't know, man.
Okay.
I don't.
So that's a problem. But that's a problem.
Yeah.
And the reason why that's a problem is the following thing.
Preach.
Are you gay?
Me? No.
What do I need to do to convert you?
I'm listening.
What do I need to do to convert you into being gay?
I don't think you can.
You don't think I could convert you to being gay?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this.
He sounded uncertain.
Who converted you into getting a real estate license?
I did.
Who influenced you though? How did you learn about real estate?
Saw a TV commercial for $1 million listing.
Perfect.
That kind of got in my mind.
And you were influenced to be a realtor. You weren't born with wanting to be a realtor.
Correct.
Bingo.
Yeah.
I really hope that the point was heard, even though I was briefly distracted. But just one more time for those of you in the back. Okay, he gave the most simplistic breakdown to make this man understand why having conviction of an opinion that's very, very important, frankly. You can't sit in the middle on this one. You really, honestly and truly need to pick A or B, man. Which one are you with? Are you in for indoctrination and grooming and exposing, brains that are barely fully formed, hardly to stuff that is pretty heinous for children? Or, hey, pledge to the flag. Read your Bible. I have issues with both, but I definitely have a bigger issue with the latter.
A TV commercial for $1 million listing.
Perfect.
That kind of got in my mind.
And you were influenced to be a realtor. You weren't born with wanting to be a realtor.
Correct.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Did you get it? Let me explain to you what I mean by this.
Sure, please.
So, stats came out that shows which generation is the gayest generation of all. That's part of the LGBTQ community. Do you think you care more about what I think at this age or when you were 14 years old?
Definitely 14.
No problem. Me too, right? So, do you think it's easier to convert you in a way of thinking at 14 or 33?
14.
Of course, right? Okay. I became a Christian because somebody talked to me about it. I got into insurance because somebody influenced me to get into insurance, okay? I got into bodybuilding because I was influenced by Arnold Schwarzenegger. I went to Santa Monica Community College because I was influenced because that's where Arnold went. Somebody influenced you, right?
Mm-hmm.
4 generations.
It's a simple matter of just being exposed to certain things that can easily, especially the child, be seen as something that influences / grooming, especially when we talk about this time and time again, because I just won't let this one go. I am sick and tired, and I want to hear more of the voices within the LGBTQIA that have the issue with the T's, that the ones that want to push this whole idea that, it's okay to change your sex and then roll with it and have actual, genital mutilation considered and on the table because you want to show how open-minded you are. We got to just get that backbone back in the country here, man. Parents, get on board.
5 generations. Traditionalist, you got the boomers, millennials, Gen X, and you got Gen Z. You ready? Traditionalist, 0.8% of are gay. 0.8% of traditionalists are gay. Boomers, 2.6%. Then you go to 5%. Then you go to 10%. You know what percentage of Gen Z identifies as LGBTQ? 21%. 21%. So
the guest has such an interesting answer. Clever at first, but when you look at the sheer statistics, it doesn't stack up.
who do you think cares less about what you and I think, traditionalists or Gen Zs? Traditionalists. You think if you and I are 70 years old and we're gay, do you really think you and I care about what other people think? What do you think? No. You're coming out. You ever seen a grandma or grandfather drop F-bombs and it's like, get your butt out of my, because that, listen, I'm 10 years away from living and dying. Like, I don't give a shit what you think about me. But if 21% of Gen Z is gay, they're being influenced just like you were influenced to be a realtor, just like I was influenced to go into SMC. Influence. That's a problem. So the fact that you, a very smart guy, a super successful guy at your age.
Look at the guy right here. He's like, oh, stop it. No, definitely not gay.
Cannot tell the two apart.
The homeboy in the corner is looking like he's questioning all kinds of things about himself right now.
That means you're not really putting a lot of thought into what's going to influence who. Because God, faith, that's going to influence you to do what? Complete different thing.
Don't you think that some of that, though, is a bit...
This one he had loaded and ready to go. This was his break glass in case of logical fallacy argument. Absolutely. What a very opening, enlightening perspective he offers here. I really think it's a shot in the foot to his lack of intelligence on the entire theme that PBD was trying to express, but let's hear him out, shall we?
That overall people are on somewhere on a spectrum. And if you're, let's say, a 2 out of 10 or a 3 out of 10, that maybe...
Oh, good. We have a chick
How
with a
do you
dildo.
overcome
I'm so glad.
pornography
Thank you.
addiction?
YouTube.
I wonder.
What?
With the right strategies,
Wait.
that's how.
How do you overcome
So
pornography addiction?
my ex used to be addicted to pornography pretty hardcore. His genre was
She's using the
findom,
dildo like a
financial
mic, huh?
domination,
What
where
do you
you
think this is?
pay women lots of money.
Okay,
you're more
that was
open
cool.
about that, whereas in other generations you weren't. And perhaps it's somewhere in the middle.
No, I think LGBTQ is a religion. And you choose which religion you want to be in front of your kids. Okay. You choose, if a person is gay, you're eventually going to be gay. You're going to be gay. You're not going to be, if you're going to do what you're going to do, like, for example, I interviewed a guy who was a negotiator, FBI agent, who would sit down with people that killed, that were, murderers that killed their own family members. And I said, so what gets somebody to get to the point of wanting to do something like this? And he explained how there's a difference between what you're born with, what you're influenced with, and then to take the action, right? There are some people that are born who are dark human beings, period, that they enjoy it. They're born that way. If you look at
or maybe it's Maybelline.
Iceman. I don't know if you've ever seen interviews of the Iceman. Have you ever watched interviews of Iceman?
Yeah.
That guy is cold, and he enjoyed what he did. What percentage of the world is like that? What would you say? 0.1%? Okay. So are we going to say, no, he was influenced to be that way? There had to be a darker person in his life to get him to be that dark. No, he's born that way. Okay. Are some people born gay? Maybe.
Father was a big impact.
But if we take 1,000 gay people, what percentage of them are gay because they were born gay? What percentage of them are gay because they were influenced to be gay? Or life influenced them to be gay? That's a real question we have to talk about. I understand it's a very uncomfortable thing.
I think it would be just attraction. Who are like I am attracted to certain people and a certain type.
Certain women.
I'm not attracted to another type.
No problem.
So I feel like that would be the same thing with gender.
I'm trying to
if you're
eliminate
attracted to men or women, that would be
biological gender with his very open-ended answer. I am attracted to the ones with the innie, not the outie. I like mine, with them lips, because definitely not gay here. No outies for me. By the way, I don't know. I was gonna do some lame joke about his buddy in the back, just wait for the exit sign to say entry incoming. So I don't know where my mind's going. Sorry. I'm looking for a way to insult these two fruits that are not fruits. They claim they're not fruits. It's just people. They're just people. They're attracted to people. It's not just, that they're attracted to women. It's just, I'm attracted to people. Yeah. Their sex, their gender. It has nothing to do with my attraction to them. Sure. Boobs, hairy chest, cotton candy boobs, whichever.
Yeah.
Do you think you need to learn how to give a blowjob to another boy at 11 years old?
No.
That book is in schools, recommended teaching by many teachers in America. Do you think that's a problem?
Sure.
Do you think it's a better usage of my time to learn how money works?
Yes.
Or how to please another boy at 11 years old?
Right.
So then you have to decide your values and principles between the two. I think,
which requires growing a backbone and not worrying about what your constituents or your inner circle of friends or even family think, because you just have to accept reality and really be sure of yourself. It's this finicky aspect of not having convictions in what people believe that has gotten us to this place where things are so dystopian. I think that's also conspiracy theory alert. Which population is easier to manipulate and control? A confused one, or ones that have their very strong convictions in their opinions? Constitutionalists that actually studied the language and know what ground they stand on and have their opinions based upon that, or ones that can't even decide which one out of 85 genders they are and grow up that way. Think about that for a moment. In mass, who are easily more manipulated or persuaded? I have nothing against the LGBTQIA elemental P community, except when they get involved in grooming children. I think that's just a common sense step, and both of our parties, I think the GOP has pretty much taken a hardline stance. The DNC, you need to make it clear that it's not going to become the slippery slope, because you can make the argument the slippery slope has already begun, because look at all the hell that's been unleashed upon the schools and our population in general. I think the evidence speaks for itself.
I think these values being taught to kids, are kids typically more liberal or conservative?
Liberal.
Liberal. Are you kidding me? I'm all liberal. Like, let's try drugs. Let's try this. Let's break the law. Let's break this. Hey, let's sneak into the swimming pool and have the cops chase us. Hey, let's test this out. We're liberal, right? Mm-hmm. So we don't need to teach more liberal policies to kids. They're going to do shit. We're going to do stuff. We need to balance it out with what? With this, okay? So now watch this. Do you think rich, greedy people who have a lot of money, do you think they need to be taught more conservative stuff or more this stuff? Liberal stuff. What do you think? Do you see how this is working out?
It makes so much perfect sense. Like, I never even thought of it that way. Growing up, I think just in general, accept it or not, we have a more liberal attitude because we're young and, I'll say it frankly, for the most part, pretty damn dumb. So we're experimenting, right? We're more open-minded, and we have to go through the cause and effect period of our lives. Then when you get older and say you accumulate mass wealth, right? Instead of hoarding it, you learn that compassion. You start to maybe dwell just a smidgen. I'm not saying jump to the other side. I'm saying start maybe thinking with that open mind, because you've already been educated, though. So your more open-mindedness won't be mistaken for anything but you making a conscientious decision to help someone or a community or a facility with your own wealth, right? And it still be your choice to do so, not forced legislation. Don't get it wrong or twisted.
Balance. It's the other way around. I think we've mixed it up. So be understood. This guy's 28 years old. He's gay. No problem. I got plenty of gay employees. I have plenty of lesbian leaders in my company, plenty of them. And see how my relationship is with them. You chose to do that as an adult. Salute. A couple of them were here yesterday. Just watch how they hug me when they see me. Mm-hmm. We love each other.
I don't know what I'm supposed to take away from that. Like, hey, I had some of the gays. Can I say that on YouTube? I had some gay individuals on the show yesterday. Just look at how they hugged me. They wanted a piece of this. Hubba hubba. Like, I missed the point he was making with that. There was a gay man in your seat just yesterday, and I could tell he was rock hard in those Levi's as I tried to interview him. Clearly, I was a distracting, handsome mess.
each other. We have an incredible relationship. Then later on, we need to learn and say, hey, man, can you be a little bit kind to these people? Dude, relax. They just see things in a different way than you do. All good. I think we need to give conservative values to kids when we're liberals. And I think we need to inject a little bit of this when we're older, successful, to be a little bit more understanding. I think the education is out of whack. You know, maybe the LGBTQ stuff can be taught to people that are older to be a little bit more gentle to them. But so you're asking a question. I'm going to go back to it. God is one of them. What's being taught in school is one of them. Not enough money, finances is one of them. The way we turn our heroes into, who the hero-making machine is in America is a problem. Today, we recognize complainers. Today, we recognize who posts more naked pictures on social media.
That's so damn true. I'm one of the few people left, I think, on Facebook, and I can't tell you how many, of the my stories of my my female friends on there. And I'll admit, some I just added out of sheer just attraction. But Jesus H. Lord, man, I live in Florida, and Miami is the #1 state of OnlyFans content creators. I can't even identify what percentage of women are just posting pretty much naked photos and videos or using the emojis to block certain things. It's amazing that these platforms, what they allow. But meanwhile, if we dissent from the mainstream status quo, whatever the case, or criticize Joe Biden, Hunter Biden about things that we know are a fact, God forbid that happens, and then ban hammer, man. Get out of here. We need consistency. We need consistency on speaking on what the truth is in an open discussion format on everything being allowed on the table and what is taboo, what isn't. Because if the dialogue is prevented, well, then we'll still remain confused as all hell. And I know I'm confused on YouTube because the last video I made this morning talking about my mother that was completely innocent, only asking for help, was demonetized for reasons I cannot identify. Maybe because I said I'm going to the range later, which I keep saying again, just to see if they'll yellow this one.
Most likes. Today, we recognize that more than somebody like you is responsible, makes his own money, works his tail off. You seem very kind, you seem humble, you seem likable, yet you're doing your research, yet you're willing to talk to people. So we've confused kids on who the hero today is. Oh my God, poor person. Look at this person. They came out of the closet at 14 years old. Let's do 28 articles on them. But that 14-year-old kid who made $28,000 independently, it's whatever. It's not a big deal. But let's highlight this person. What are you doing? Which one do we need more for society? More people coming out of closet or more 14-year-olds that are making $28,000 on their own? We're turning the wrong people into heroes, and it's confusing the F out of kids. So to me, those are things that we've been doing that's kind of messed up America a bit.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click
Never
right.
thought of it that way until I heard him illustrate all of it. And once again, I'm just going to point out, I don't expect it to go anywhere realistically, but I mean, how crazy was it? Some dude walks in my store wearing the Value Entertainment shirt. I'm like, holy crap, you like PBD? It's like, dude, I work for him, and let's see where that goes. Promise a little networking. Now, I guess before I go, I do have to give a little talking to, and this might be unpleasant. Hey, not ducking felonies. You're cool. By the way, gotta say, listen, ducks, if I see any more, and it's the ducks who I can't see in the chat, if I see any more of my friends that are complaining about you, like tagging them nonstop or spamming, and you do spam comment, you gotta stop doing that, please. Please. I've done everything that I can. I've spoken to you face to face. I've left messages. I mean, we work together. I've addressed like everything, and I cannot stop you. I know this is embarrassing for you, but please, you're upsetting people, and I don't like knowing that something that should be within my control that's happening within my community or a part of my community continues to distract people from what we're trying to do here, and you need to just calm yourself down. Just do that for me personally, for the community, and unfortunately I did make a full decision. I'm blocking you entirely. Thank you for your eternal support. I'm so grateful, but you just don't know when to tone it down, and I have to address it, and this will be the last time I do it publicly. I really hope there isn't another time. where I feel this is necessary. You have other channels that you are openly supporting. Continue to do that, but it's just become too much, and I've seen too many examples of it. See, all right. Base Girl doesn't play. And Base Girl, by the way, thank you so much for tagging me in the happy birthday video. I'm going to respond. And I said in the last video, my many thanks to all of you. D. Libby, I saw you there. All of you that were a part of the birthday video. It warmed my heart and it helped me get through the next day, which is the whole reason that the last video is there. Me pleading with, I don't know, whatever connections I can make, dealing with an issue I don't know how to deal with, which is watching, my mother going through something that I don't know how to quite handle it, and I don't know through what channels I need to get through, especially when I have no compliance or agreement in that. But anyway, Maxwell, damn it. See, I don't know who Read Between the Lines is because I can't see their comments. So strange. I gotta look into stuff. Anyway, Mr. Smith and Base Girl and Patty. Maxwell, I'll say your name twice because you're extra nice. And everybody, and Con Candy Boobs that started out with me today. It's still early. There's still plenty of day to chase. I wish you all the best. And, hug your loved ones. Take advantage of them being here. You never know what tomorrow will bring. Take care. Have a great day.